All right, let's go. If you're tired of not feeling fit, tired of just not having a focus, tired of just not having the financial resources that you deserve, this is the Live 100 podcast, the place you come to break the habits that no longer serve you so you can build the life you truly desire. So this month, I turned 46, and I thought it'd be good to reflect on just some of the things that within my life, my health, my family, my business that I could share to a younger version of myself. And some of these might translate to you where you stand today, whether you're in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s. But this is something that would share of what I've learned throughout the 45 years that I've now existed on this planet. And, with life, the first would be to embrace change. Most times growth comes from stepping outside of our comfort zone, right? I think about the 100-mile races that I've run. I haven't been comfortable, but they've allowed me to get a new perspective on life. And with that, it's opened my eyes to just how putting myself into positions that are not absolutely comfortable, right? They strain me both mentally and physically, allow me to be ready for the challenges that come. We know life comes in many different directions, and many times it's not welcome the way that we potentially had envisioned it. And when we are not mentally disciplined, that can really play havoc on your mind and your body. So embrace the change. Next is to stay curious. This is a world of just about people and the world yourself. I mean, just looking out there, how other people live their lives, just constantly trying to understand things that maybe seem foreign before, just asking questions about things that you potentially don't think you would have interest in. Right. Just it was someone who plays the trumpet, like which rhythm of the trumpet, what are some of the intricacies of the trumpet, the short line cook, right? What are some of the things that they find as part of this business allows them to really perform. Read books, explore different universes, watch documentaries about things that you didn't think that would interest you, right? You find at times that the more you open your eyes to what's available out there, the more that you realize that you just really don't know anything about the universe. And the more curious you are, the easier it is for you to just discover what truly is your best life. Next is to just be responsible for where you are and your outcome. Your own successes and failures it's your responsibility. And have things happen that have altered both your successes and failures? Absolutely. But you still have to take responsibility back. Because when you put the onset on others, when you blame others, you give up your control. You give up everything that was within your power. So take back responsibility. Be fully empowered and responsible for where you are and where you're going. With that, know that time is finite. Now, what truly matters, and avoid wasting, time and distractions. I was thinking about some friends from school, right? From some middle school, high school, college. Many times you haven't seen them in years. You just remember them at certain ages, right? And, I was thinking about some friends that passed away, right? And I only know them at a certain age. So here I am 45 today, and I'm thinking about, a friend who was 13, and I'm always going to know him as 13, right? I'm always going to, know my girlfriend who died at 17, right? That's the age that I remember them. But then I think about that, and it's so 30 years ago. And time has passed at a manner that is just, you can't easily just imagine how fast time goes. But in the blink of an eye, the time we're here is a soul catechism of what actual life is. The thousands of years that this planet has been here, we're here for 100 less years. So understand that time is finite. Stop filling your day with distractions to not go out there and commit what truly is the time you have on this earth. And then next, be intentional. Align your actions with the values to create a fulfilling life. Be absolutely intentional with your actions. 98% of our day happens subconsciously. I had this talk with one of my students earlier, is that you spend 2% of your time conscious to what you're doing. And then 98% of the time is the subconscious. And we were talking about, the first time you drive a car, you get into it and like everything is like, you're fully aware of what's happening, right? Okay, I pushed the gas pedal. Okay, I got to push the brake to take the car out of park, to put it into reverse, or to put it in drive, and both hands on the wheel, right? Now you get in the car and you just go. Well, that's a lot with our life. And if it's built on good habits, great. You can continue to compound that. But if you have a lot of habits that are not serving you, you're subconsciously allowing those habits to dominate your day and your life. So make sure you're being intentional with the actions you're doing to create the life you truly want. And that moves us into health. Consistency on any level beats intensity, especially here with New Year's resolutions. A lot of you going out there trying to crush your first month, 3 hours into the gym, pushing it to the level, and you have no foundation. It's going to be hard to keep up. But if you want to be healthy for your life, then what's the rush? Start to do a little bit each day and allow the consistency to be the small daily habits that allow you to live a healthy, fulfilled life. And when you think of this physical fitness, that it fuels mental clarity. When you discipline yourself to do hard things, to push hard weights, to do push-ups, to go run, it creates and gives you mental clarity because it disciplines your mind to be focused on the task ahead and push through the times you want to stop. Just one more rep, just 500 more feet, right? It pushes you to keep going. And when you push yourself out of the body, the next is your sleep. Your sleep is non-negotiable. You have to rest well. And I get it. We only have a certain amount of time, but if you can't perform because you're so tired, the time you are awake, you're going to be a zombie. So understand that's the foundation for your productivity and your health. And to second on that, your hydration and nutrition matter. You're doing all this workout, you're giving all yourself, you're learning all these things, you're exploring the universe, and then you're fueling your body with sludge, right? With things that do not allow you to have a clear mind, a clear focus, right? Drink more water. Eat clean for as much as you can. Still enjoy, right? Go for ice cream, do these things, have some meals outside of it, but eat clean for the majority of your time so you can allow yourself to fully be present in the time of need. And listen to your body. If you have pain, fatigue, address them so that we create a bigger picture. And that's just as much for you or me as it is you. I've gone through years just burning off the rubber, right? Pushing myself. And now I have to be smarter so I can maximize myself. And what it's allowed me to do to truly be aware and be intentional with my actions, I've gotten massively stronger. As strong as I have been in my 20s, I'm strong. And it's continuing to allow my strength to progress because I've been able to truly pay attention to what I'm doing and then put my full energy into listening to my body and using it appropriately to take action when the time is now. Next is, family. You have to be present when you're with them with your undivided attention. I get asked this question, how do you separate work and life? And they have crossover, right? Especially if you have your own businesses, it comes home with you. But if you're with your family and you're thinking about work, and then when you're at work, you're thinking about your family, you're not serving either of them. So make sure where you are, right, where your feet are, have your mind, have your heart. Give it your undivided attention. So when you're with the other, you can give that your undivided attention. And you have to think about yourself when you have businesses, you're out as an entrepreneur. Many times you're out in a silo. You don't have people around you, but you have to open up and communicate with others. One, it builds trust, but it creates conversations and allows you to get out a lot that you're just keeping in your mind. And sometimes when you speak it out into the universe, it helps you to fully dissect it and make a rational decision. So the next step in front of you is that much more important and that much more intentional. And you do want to lead by example. With my kids right now, one of the things I'm doing is that if I was acting irrational, being crazy, out there cursing, drinking, doing all these crazy things, then that's would be the example I'm setting for my kids. But if I'm getting up early, if I'm talking in positive, if I'm teaching them about prayer, if I'm going and showing them how I'm working out, how I'm committed, if I'm treating my wife in the appropriate manner, that's going to leave an impact. So many times you hear stories of people and their memories, right, are impacted by just the way they were raised. So I want to, one, empower my kids to be positive, but two, teach them about discipline, teach them about hard work, teach them about things that are going to help them grow. And then as a family, you celebrate the wins, both big and small. You look at the things that have not been to par, but when wins happen, no matter how small, you celebrate them. You share the joy that strengthens the bonds within you and your family. And then you have to just prioritize your spouse. Many times we have kids and we forget about the relationship that has to be served between wife and husband. And we love our kids and we want to do everything with our kids, but there are times where I have to have the time just with my wife to allow that relationship to flourish and not allow it to just dissipate because we're all kids. We are 100% committed to giving our kids our best life. But that gets better when my wife and I are fully focused on our relationship and we're living our best lives together. So make sure that you have the time to allow your relationship to continue to grow, prosper, and fortify for years to come. Now we're on the back end here, so I just want to say, if this is something you found valuable, do us a service and go down there and leave us an honest rating and review. It really helps this podcast to get out there to serve others. Now, I want to tail this in with some business learnings, and the first is, think long term. On a prior podcast, I just talked about the stress and the challenges you get from the day to day. Those day-to-day pieces build into the vision that you are looking at. But if you look at every day as its own fire, right, you're constantly under stress, you're constantly under anxiety. But if you understand that these are all parts of the process through to the journey that you're going into, then you can just treat it like it is. It's its own event, and you can focus on getting more better days than worse days. Then overall, over the course of your long-term vision, you're on your way to reach the heights that you deserve to meet. Next is business is built on relationships. I talked earlier about it being that we're all in customer service and capacity. Well, you have to build relationships. Relationships are the foundation for you in all parts, whether it's your business partners, whether it's your customers, right? Relationships matter, and how you treat those relationships by doing what you say is going to put you in a position to live the life that you truly desire. And when you have failures, you have to fail forward. You have to look at your failures as something of an event to learn from and not an event to knock you back. Fail forward. Understand that the failures are something that you have to investigate to understand why they've happened, and then look through them to the next stage of your courses of action to get you forward to the next evolution of your life. And with your business, get back to putting people in the right seats, empowering them forward by delegating tasks, but then also communicating with them to why that task is important and how that task can build to the overall bigger vision. Empower them. They will take great pride if they're given a role and a responsibility that helps the business forward, if it's explained clearly to them why this is important to the business. So don't task people to death. Empower them to be part of your process and be part of your journey, and you will find your business will take on new forms and grow to new heights. And lastly, through all this, stay resilient. You are going to face unexpected challenges that you could have never imagined. And you're going to hit new heights, and then you're going to hit new lows. And through all that, be persistent and be ready to adapt to the challenges that are in front of you, that are going to come. All right, so that's what I have. That is 20 lessons that I can impart on you or my younger self about how to see the world and how to treat the world and how to be ready for what's ahead. All right, so that's what I have for you today. This is the Live 100 podcast. I'm Jason Yarusi. Let's do this.